Alright, so I figured I would make a video that has to do with using either midpoint rule, trapezoid rule, Simpson's rule, but how to do those rules using the calculator. So here's the problem that I'm going to be taking a look at. And I already wrote out the steps. So here for midpoint, we were going to be plugging this into the calculator, trapezoid, and Simpson's rule. Alright, so before I get started, let me get my calculator out so you can see the calculator as well. And what I want to do is I want to be able to plug this into the calculator. So I'm going to first go to y equals, and then on y equals I'm going to plug in the function. So in this case the function is the cube root. So I'm going to go to math. I'm going to go to cube root, which is number 4, and then I'm going to type in x to the 4th, and then plus 6. So I'm going to hit enter. So that's in y1. So now I'm going to go to second and mode, which will quit. This will get me back to the screen where I can type in what I need to type in. And I'm going to first start off with the midpoint rule. So for the midpoint rule, I'm going to type in 2/3 because that's our delta x for this problem. In parentheses, I'm now going to put in the function. So the function, remember, is in y1. So there's two ways to do this. One way is to go to vars, go over to yvars, hit the right arrow, hit function, and then there's y1, so we can hit enter. Now for the midpoint rule, I need to actually put a double parenthesis, because I'm going to add the 0 plus the 2/3. Close that parentheses, that's my numerator, divided by 2, and then close my parenthesis again. So that's that whole first term, f of 0 plus 2/3 divided by 2. So now I'm going to add, and then I'm going to show you another way to get to y1. So another way to get to y1 would be to hit the alpha key, go over to trace. So I'm looking for this F4, and what happens is it brings up a whole Y menu. So 1, which is already highlighted, so I'm just going to hit enter, and there I get another Y1. So again, midpoint rule, we need double parenthesis. We're going to do 2 divided by 3 for 2/3 plus 4 divided by 3, close that parenthesis, and then divide by 2, and then close the parenthesis for that. And I'm just going to keep going. Again, plus, I think it's easier to hit the alpha and the trace button to get y1, just a fewer steps. Double parenthesis, 4 divided by 3, plus 2, close your parenthesis, divide by 2, close your other parenthesis. All right, just going to move this over a little bit so I can see what else we have to plug in. So here we have plus, and I'm going to go to, again, that alpha trace to get y1, double parenthesis, this time I'm going to put in 2 plus 8 divided by 3, close that parenthesis, divide by 2, and close that parenthesis. Couple more, so plus again y1, double parenthesis, 8 divided by 3, plus 10 divided by 3, close your parenthesis, and then divide by 2, and then close that parenthesis, and then plus the last term here is going to be y1, double parenthesis, 10/3 plus 4, close that parenthesis, divide by 2, close that parenthesis, and then close the bigger parenthesis. Alright, so now again, just to go over again, to get y1 you could go to vars, or you could do this alpha trace. Older calculators you have to go to the vars and do it that way. The newer calculators you can hit the alpha and do the F4 button. Alright, once I hit enter I should get my answer, and then just to check, there is the answer. Alright, we can do the same thing similarly for the trapezoid rule and Simpson's rule. So let me just go through those so I can show you how easy it is to, if you're using the same problem, to go from trapezoid rule to Simpson's rule, for example. So if I hit 1 divided by 3, in parentheses. Now we just have to hit f of 0. So again, I'll show you both ways. So we go to vars, y1, and I just have to put a 0 in the parentheses. Plus, now this one has all 2's in between, so we have 2, and I'm going to show the other way. So we have alpha trace, that gives me y1 as well, and then 2/3 is what I'm putting in the parentheses. Plus 2, again, however you get your y1, in the parenthesis, this time I'm going to put in 4/3. Close your parenthesis, plus 2, and then y1. Just to remember what I'm doing. Where am I? I'm at 2. Whoops, here. So we put in 2 plus, next one we have 2 again. So alpha y1, I'm at 8/3 this time. So parentheses 8/3. Couple more. So that means I have a 2 on this one. Go to y1. Parentheses 10/3, close my parenthesis, and then plus, since this is the last one, we don't need a 2, so we hit alpha trace, or to get your y1, and then in parentheses we're going to just put 4 in. Close your parenthesis for the whole thing and hit enter, and that's our answer for the second part. That's trapezoid. So now the difference between trapezoid and Simpsons is that Simpsons not only is, it's not going to be 1/3, it's going to be 2/3. And then also every other value is a 4 instead of a 2. So I can easily change those values. And the way to change them, you hit second, enter. That pulls everything up. So here is the trapezoid rule. I'm just going to scroll over all the way to the front. So we can start from the front. Since we're plugging in all the same values, but only certain things are changing, I can just write over those things that are changing. So I'm going to do 2 divided by 9, and then instead of a 2 here, I'm going to put in a 4, so I just type over it. Again, the second one stays at 2, and then this one changes to 4. The next one stays at 2, then I write over it and have a 4, and then this is the last term. All right, so a little easier to just change from trapezoid to Simpson's rule and then hit enter, and that would be my answer for Simpson's rule. All right, so that is how you use the calculator using these rules. All right, hopefully that was helpful, and if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, have a great day.